Hey viewer, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am excited to be talking about the Toronto International Film Festival, which I'm going to be attending in September, and I just kind of want to go through a few of the titles that have me really excited and just the reasons why I'm excited about them. I'm going to talk through some honorable mentions, and then I'm going to go into my top 10, kind of just a personal top 10. I know different people will have different opinions and different preferences, but this is what I'm most looking forward to seeing at TIFF. For the honorable mentions, I have The Eternal Daughter by Joanna Hogg. This stars Tilda Swinton, and it's going to be another A24 team up for the two. So pretty excited about that one. We also have Causeway, directed by Lila Neugebauer, and starring Jennifer Lawrence and Brian Tyree Henley. And it's a story about a soldier coming back from war, suffering from PTSD. It's another A24 film, so should be really good. Then we have The Wonder, starring Florence Pugh and directed by Sebastian Lelio. It's like a thriller, sci-fi type movie. Should be interesting. And as a sole mention for documentary features, I have Moon Age Daydream, which is Brett Morgan's documentary on David Bowie. Apparently, it's beautiful. It's like super colorful and vibrant, and it's like an IMAX experience. So I'll be trying to catch that one in the festival for sure. All right, getting into my top 10 rated by excitement. I have at number 10, The Banshees of Inisherin, starring Brendan Gleeson, Colin Farrell, Barry Keoghan, and Kerry Kondo, and directed by Martin McDonagh. It's the team up of McDonagh, Farrell, and Gleeson after In Bruges. A trailer's out for the movie already. It looks really fun and really interesting. It is like basically a dark humor comedy type movie where Brendan Gleeson and Colin Farrell had like a friendship before, and now Gleeson's not talking to Farrell. It looks hilarious. It's set in Ireland. They're all Irish actors. And it kind of seems like, it might not be necessarily like an Oscar type movie. Who knows? Maybe it gets in or not, but I'm still very excited to see it. It's definitely like up there for me. At number 9, I have Triangle of Sadness, which is the Ruben Östlund movie that made some waves at Cannes. Another trailer is out for this movie, and it looks fantastic. It looks hilarious. I'm sad that the trailer spoiled a little bit of the movie for me. I'm kind of upset that I watched it since it does contain a few things I might not have wanted to know. But it looks really funny, like a scathing social criticism of the rich and the beautiful. It has a bunch of foreign actors that might not be super well known to American audiences, but from what I've heard, they're all amazing in the movie. It's gonna be a contender for Best Picture. It's somewhat a divisive movie with critics because it's a social satire. Sometimes those don't get like the highest scores on Metacritic, so it's at a 60 something right now. But I'm very excited and looking forward to it. Apparently, watching it with an audience is like the best experience ever, so definitely on my list. At number 8, I have Women Talking, and a first still has come out for this movie, looking very beautiful with Jessie Buckley seeming like she is the main role in this. And it's also been kind of confirmed by some test screenings that have been done in Toronto. It seems like Buckley and Claire Foy are the main characters. Frances McDormand is barely in it. But I'm interested to see how this pans out. It seems like one of the bigger Oscar players. It's going to be more self-contained. From what I've kind of gathered from the synopsis, it takes place in like a very small space, like a room. So we'll see how it is. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this film by Sarah Polley and seeing what the chances are for maybe some Oscars. At number 7, I have Glass Onion. This is Ryan Johnson's follow-up to Knives Out. It is set in the Mediterranean. Daniel Craig is coming back as Detective Benoit Blanc. And this time there's a whole new cast to play around with, and the cast looks really interesting. There's Edward Norton, Janelle Monáe, Catherine Hahn, Ethan Hawke, Dave Bautista. The cast just looks really, really fun and really interesting. And if it's anything like the first Knives Out movie, I'm sure it's going to be a cracker. It's going to be a huge laugh and audience pleaser. So definitely looking forward to this one. I expect to see a great reception for it at TIFF. And yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see whether this can also, kind of sneak into the Oscar conversation. It is a sequel, and it's kind of uncommon to see sequels creeping into Oscars. But, it has very lofty expectations on it based on the first. and I certainly have very high expectations. So definitely looking forward to Glass Onion. At number 6, I have Decision to Leave. This is another Cannes film. It is directed by Park Chan-wook and it stars Tang Wei and Park Hae-il. And it's a mystery drama type film with some romance mixed in. I've just kind of been looking more and more forward to this movie as I've seen reactions to it. It has a very high Metacritic score. People seem to really, really like it. It's a bit dense for some people, from what I've gathered, but Park Chan Wook is an amazing director, and this has already been selected as Korea's international feature for the Oscars, so it's going to be an Oscar player. I've watched the trailer maybe like 20 times just because I love the way the sound plays into the trailer, the way it's edited. And if the movie is anything like the trailer, I mean, I'm just gonna love it just for the technicals. I already know I'm gonna really enjoy it. But as a story itself, I'm just looking forward to it very much so. So, Decision to Leave, my number 6. At number 5, I have The Whale. This is another super exciting movie because it's directed by Darren Aronofsky, who has been, a player in Hollywood for a long time with some controversial movies like Mother, with some, I guess still controversial but more well received movies like Black Swan. And Aronofsky this time is taking on a play that stars a 600-pound man, this time played by our beloved Brendan Fraser. And Brendan Fraser just seems like he's going to knock it out of the park with this role. He's already kind of an Oscar favorite for the Best Actor award. People have just been talking about it, and he has a bit of a narrative going because he has been kind of blacklisted by Hollywood for a long time. And this year he's having a huge comeback. He was going to be in Killers of the Flower Moon, which is getting pushed to next year, but this is like his starring role. He plays the whale. So it'll be really interesting to see his performance, whether he can maybe get into the Best Actor conversation, which I'm expecting, whether the movie can get into picture and screenplay, which I'm looking to. And I'm also curious to see Sadie Sink from Stranger Things and her performance in it. I'm sure she's going to be great. And also Hong Chow and some of the other supporting roles. So just kind of trying to get a gauge of where this movie stands. And also, I'm just personally very excited for it because of the premise, because it's A24, because of the director, the cast, and just everything about it just screams, I need to see this. At number 4, I have Empire of Light. And this is the new Sam Mendes movie starring Olivia Colman, Colin Firth, and Michael Ward. Empire of Light just seems like an absolute spectacle of a movie. It's shot by Roger Deakins, set in an old theater in England, and it just kind of screams, this is your type of movie. I know I'm gonna love it. Olivia Colman is probably my favorite actress out there. Last year, what's the last year? Yeah. Last year with The Lost Daughter, The Favorite, The Father, everything I've seen her in, she's just amazing. And especially The Lost Daughter, I mean, that performance just absolutely ripped my heart apart. And I just really want to see her again. Just for her performance alone, it's like super high up there. But also Deacon, Sam Mendes, the other supporting actors. It is going to be an Oscar player, so I'm curious to see where it fits in. So that's why I have it at number 4. At number 3, I have The Son. Another big Oscar player, and this one is Florian Zeller's follow-up to The Father. I think it's like a co-lead role with Hugh Jackman and Sam McGrath. Hugh Jackman playing the father and Sam McGrath playing the titular son. And both of those actors are going to be really interesting to look out for Oscar conversations. There's very good buzz around their performances, so I think they're going to be great. And also the supporting actresses, Laura Dern and Vanessa Kirby. It's going to be kind of like an acting movie, and it'll be interesting to see if it's the kind of movie that can get 3 or even 4 acting nominations. Also, I just love The Father. I think Florian Zeller is a masterful director, even after just doing one feature. This is based on his play, so I'm expecting it to be extremely well directed. Obviously, the script's going to be great because the play is very acclaimed. So I just think this movie is not really going to miss for me, and that's why I have very high expectations for it. And that's why it's my 3rd most anticipated for TIFF. At number 2, I have The Fabelmans, and this is probably, I guess, the general consensus most anticipated TIFF movie because it's Steven Spielberg's first movie coming back to TIFF. Spielberg has never been a TIFF before for any of his movies. He really doesn't do the fall festival circuit that much. He doesn't really need it at times, but this time I think he's banking on a personal story, which this is. It's a semi-autobiographical story, or maybe getting some TIFF placements, potentially winning the TIFF People's Choice Award. And I think it stands a really good shot. It's going to be interesting to see where this movie's chances are. I mean, it's already kind of like a Best Picture frontrunner, but I think this is going to kind of cement where it lies within that conversation. People expect it to get, a bunch of acting nominations, Michelle Williams, maybe Paul Dano, screenplay, costumes, production design, a bunch of stuff. So I'm just looking forward to seeing the movie, seeing, the critic response, the audience response. If it's, across the board great, like I expect it to be, then it's definitely going to be a huge player for Oscar season. So that's why it's my number 2. And at number 1, I have Aftersun. This is a bit of a left field kind of number 1 for just like a regular person to have, but I'm just basing this on the fact that the reception to this movie has been so extraordinary everywhere it's played. It played at Cannes and it played at the Edinburgh Film Festival. It's going to be in New York later on, and anybody and everybody who's seen it, I haven't seen a single bad reaction to it. Every review I've read has been 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100. Just people love this movie. And it's from a new director, Charlotte Wells, so I'm super curious to see a new talent kind of come onto the scene. If this movie is as great as people are making it out to be, then she's young, she's going to be a new kind of up-and-comer in the film scene, and I love to see that. It also stars Paul Mescal, who's one of my favorite actors from TV. His performance in Normal People might be my favorite performance out of anything I've seen on TV. He's just so devastating in that, and if he lives up to that in Aftersun, it's going to be incredible. I just really want to see it. It looks beautiful. The first stills have come out for it. I don't even want to see a trailer for it. I just want to kind of jump in and experience whatever the movie has for me. But yeah, I that's why I want to see it. I also hope this, if it is as good as they say it is, I have it in my Oscar predictions because I'm a really hopeful person and I want this to get credit if it's that good. And I guess I'll confirm with you guys later whether I think it is, as great as people are making it out to be. But I wanted to have some hype because it's a smaller movie. I wanted to get some Oscar love. So I'm just looking forward to seeing it and seeing whether it really fits into my super lofty high expectations for it. Yeah, that's basically my honorable mentions and top 10 for TIFF. I'm super looking forward to it. I'm going to try to catch as many movies as I can. Let me know in the comments what your most anticipated for TIFF are, what you would maybe recommend me seeing that I am not caught up on or I'm not really paying that much attention to. And yeah, and finally, thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video, and if you can, just drop a like and subscribe. It will really help out my channel. And that'll be it. Thank you for watching. Peace.